You're welcome to the Billionaire Journey Podcast. My name is Shola Matthew. This is a podcast that takes you from where you are to where you want to be in your billionaire journey. So no matter what level you are in your journey, we are always here to help you. Today, to help you move from where you are to where you want to be, we want to discuss goal setting. You see, not many people set goals. Brian Tracy says that people who don't set goals are bound to work for people who set goals. And even though that might not be research based, but it has proven to be true. So do you set goals? Or do you want to set goals? If you don't, you're also in good company, because this episode of the Billionaire Journey Podcast is going to help you to set goal. So, what do you need to set goal? Number one, you need the goal itself. What is your big goal? Let's say that you want to make $100,000. How do you set this goal? So, maybe you want to build a house, or you want to rent a house, or you want to buy a car, or you want to marry someone, right? These are goals that you can set, right? So what is that goal that you want to set? What is that goal that you want to achieve? Think about that goal. It could be something that will impact you positively or your community. Now, someone will say that if you're setting a goal, it's always good to think of all this as well, right? You don't just set goals that is going to benefit you alone. But, there are times that there are certain goals that will benefit you alone, and there are certain goals that will benefit others, right? So, always set a goal. What is that goal that you want to achieve? Number two, why do you even want to achieve this goal? Like, I think it's Simon Sinek who says, start with a why. You see, when you have a why, it's always difficult for you to abandon your goal. For example, one of my goals is to actually become a millionaire in 2020. And I did it. Now, why did I want to become a millionaire? I want to be able to take care of my family. I want to also be able to sponsor orphans and vulnerable children to school. And guess what? Anytime that I feel like I'm not encouraged to go further, I always think of the smiles that I will put on the orphans and vulnerable people's faces. So, what is your goal? Why do you want to achieve that goal? Number three, break down your goals into smaller steps, right? So, for instance, now, let's say you want to make $100,000. You can start with make $1,000. By the time you achieve that $1,000, it's always easier for you to be able to say, okay, yeah, I know how I achieved $1,000. What did I do wrong? What did I not do right? What did I do right? And how can I improve it? What are the things I need to remove? When you think of all of those things, then you are able to move further. So break them into smaller steps. It is at this point that you think of who can help you. What do you need? Who do you know that has achieved something similar that you can model, right? So break down into smaller steps. And number four, what are the obstacles that might hinder you from achieving your goal? You see, when you know your weakness, or when you know what the challenge is, when you know what the problem is, it's always easier. You have even solved 50% of the problem. If you are able to identify what the problem is, 50% of that problem is already solved. So try to identify what are the things that can hinder you from achieving your goal. And number 5, still number 4, what can you do to overcome these challenges that you've identified? So think about it, right? Just list everything down. And number 5, celebrate your milestone. So by the time you start achieving your goal, make sure that you celebrate your goal at every point in time. No matter how small you've achieved, celebrate yourself. Let's say you have a goal to read a book every month, one book every month. If you read 3 pages in a week, celebrate it. Tap yourself in the back and say, wow, well done. So celebrate yourself along the journey to your success. When you do that, success is assured. I hope that you learned something from today's episode of the Billionaire Journey Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Please go to the Billionaire Journey Podcast. Go to the Billionaire Journey Podcast, subscribe, right? No matter what platform you're listening to us from, either Shopify, either Audible, Apple Podcast, please subscribe and drop a review for us so that all the people can see and listen to this podcast. Lastly, please go to thebillionairejourney.com and subscribe to our newsletter. See you tomorrow. By the way, PS. Tomorrow's episode is going to be amazing. Tomorrow is the 11th of December, right? I'm going to talk to you about a particular journey that I was able to go through. It's basically about YouTube partnership program. I was accepted into the YouTube partnership program, and so tomorrow I'm going to discuss my journey into the YouTube partnership program. I hope that you will listen to tomorrow's episode. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.